these ladies is a web designer. One of them's a web designer, one of them is a lawyer, and one of them is a life coach. And I want you people who haven't seen this presentation before to tell me which one's which.
Can I have a number 3 with...
Is this blind date?
I wouldn't trust anyone.
Come in, which one's the web designer?
They look a bit plastic.
I reckon the white... I'm going to be really bizarre and say it's the
blue one.
The blue one?
Yeah.
Web
Short
designer.
skirt, yeah.
Short skirt for a web designer.
Yeah.
Okay, and who is a life coach?
I reckon
The
it's
brown-haired one.
The one.
Yeah.
So this one's the lawyer. Do you know this is the first time I've done this where actually there's been any debate about it, because normally people go, that one, that one, that one. The actual answer is, you can't tell.
Exactly.
Because they're dollies.
Because they're dollies. Yeah. You can't tell because a lawyer can wear a long pink dress or a miniskirt, or who cares? Because they're all individuals, and we're all individuals as well.
Yeah.
So when I'm talking about your personal brand, I'm really talking about you. Because for those of us who run our own businesses and our small businesses, you are your business. When I think of Little Luxuries, I think of Emma. I don't actually think Little Luxuries, I think Emma. When I think of environmental population, sadly I think of John, and then I think of something else really quickly.
Sally.
Yeah, I'll think of Sally. So it's really, really important to think about what is your personal. I really do believe that it is important to be yourself in business. In For Networking, we talk an awful lot about meet, like, know, trust. Okay? If somebody meets you and you're putting on an act, you're being how you think you should be, they may not work out why, but that trust thing is not quite going to gel. People pick up on it subconsciously. And I've done it when I've met people. I think, yeah, I can believe what they do. Just not really sure I want to work with them, though. There's just something I'm not convinced about. I spent quite a lot of years in the corporate world, and it took me a long time to work out that it really, really wasn't for me. I was pretending to be the corporate girl. I was there in my navy blue pinstripe suit with my nice little blue handbag, and I'd go along to meetings and be all corporate. And then probably about 3 times a year at least, I would do something like dye my hair bright pink, or I would put like really weird coloured streaks in it. And it just blew that whole corporate thing. And I saw people who really weren't as good as me being promoted over me. And there was one boss, I said, how come he got promoted? You know he's not as good as me. And my boss went, yeah, we all know that you're the best, but I can't put you into the boardroom because you're just not corporate enough. And it really hit me hard, because I believe passionately that it should be about how good you are, not whether your face fits. But I realised that in that environment, my face was never going to fit. And I should just get out of it, because I was pretending to be something I truly wasn't, and people could see it even when my hair wasn't pink. So you need to think about that for your own businesses. If you are an accountant, you don't have to be very sober and suited and very sensible, because there are going to be people out there who don't want an accountant like that, who are going to gel with you, who you are. And I think that's a really strong selling point, actually, that people can really meet with you and like something about you and trust you because you're being true to yourself, and then the business relationship takes off big style. The way this relates into your brand personality is when you're coming to create your literature, your business cards, your advertising, whatever you're doing. I think we all at these groups, we collect lots of business cards. I have a shoebox absolutely heaped full. What is quite an interesting exercise is to just grab a handful out and lay them out in front of you and look at the cards, look at the style, look at the design, and you don't even have to know anything much about design, but you can look at the business card and just go, is that person? I've met that person. Does that card really represent them? And there are some people that, I'm not going to name names, but there are some people whose cards just really don't fit with them because they've gone for a design that maybe is too sensible and too straight and too serious, and you think, oh, that's just really not that person. And that, again, will just completely undermine your image and your credibility. It's all got to fit together. One little thing I will say, and somebody's raised this with me before, is about you do, to a certain extent, have to play the game. You do have to play the game a little bit. I wear a suit for these kind of meetings sometimes, as people know. But it's still me. You know, I've got my stupid great big ring on, and it's still my personality coming through, because if you don't like me, don't work with me. And I think if you have the confidence in yourself to say that, it will take you a long, long way. The final point I really want to make is, as your businesses grow and as you take on staff, if that's what you want to do, there's lots of things to think about when you take on staff. Can they do the job? Can they do the job for me? All of those things that you get taught when you go on recruitment courses in corporate life. But when you have developed your brand personality to fit with you and your personal brand, you have to also think, how is this person going to blend with this? And I'm not saying that you have to take on a clone of yourself, because quite obviously that will get scary in the end. But you do have to think, if there's somebody who completely cuts across what you have developed as you, it's going to be quite a culture shock for your existing customers to suddenly come across somebody who, if I took on somebody to work for me who is very, very serious and very, very, my clients would wonder what on earth was going on. And it would completely change the brand that I've worked on. Thank you.
Thank you.